Well, that time they ran their offense. They literally ran their offense.
35.4 points a game, with Smush Parker and Kwame Brown in the starting lineup. No Shaq, no second option worth double teaming.
So at the other end, Kobe answers right back.
You know, when he gets around the...
Every coach in the league had the tape. Every defense knew exactly where the ball was going. Nobody solved him. Not one night all season.
6 have come in the fourth.
Well, he's got his wake-up call at the right time for Dallas.
7 nights prove it. And the last one on this list, the number you already know, just got rewritten.
12 Mavs, 1:20 to go in the fourth.
Number 7, Toronto Raptors. January 22nd, 2006.
35.
And he's only played 13 minutes.
Kevin George guns it to Min, little backdoor.
Everybody remembers the number. Almost nobody remembers that the Lakers were losing. January 22nd, 2006. 18,997 people at Staples Center for a Sunday night game against Toronto that meant nothing in the standings.
One here this afternoon to a game and a half behind. Kobe reverse slam.
Not a national broadcast, a local Fox Sports West feed with a fill-in play-by-play man because the regular voice was calling the NFC Championship game on the radio. At halftime, the Lakers were down 63-49.
Kobe missed it. So the streak comes to an end.
In the third quarter, it got worse, 71-53. 18 points down, at home, to a Raptors team going nowhere. Then he scored 55 points in the second half. Final line, 81 points, 28 of 46 from the field, 7 of 13 from 3, 18 of 20 from the free throw line. 42 minutes. Final score, 122-104. Down 18. Won by 18.
So at the other end, Kobe answers right back.
You know, when he gets around the...
That's the detail that gets buried under the number, and it's the whole reason the number matters. This wasn't a stat chase in a blowout. He didn't need his teammates to foul on purpose to get the ball back. He walked onto a floor where his team was getting beaten, and he simply refused to allow the outcome. 46 shots, 1 man, 1 half.
Lamar has to get going. All of the Lakers have to get going offensively.
Kobe has been...
Now here's where it gets complicated, and this is the part that's brand new. For 20 years, 81 was the second highest single game total in NBA history. Wilt, then Kobe. That was the list. Then on March 10th, 2026,
21. And here comes Mike James for the Toronto Raptors. Whoa, tries to...
Bam Adebayo scored 83 for Miami against Washington in a 150-129 win, 20 of 43 from the floor and 36 of 43 from the free throw line, with his own teammates fouling late in a decided game to get him extra possessions. It's a real record, and it counts.
Kobe scores on the slam.
Well, that time they ran their offense.
Kobe is third on that list now, but I want you to hold those 2 nights side by side because they are not the same event. One was a man setting a record in a game his team was winning by 20. The other was a man erasing an 18-point deficit with the building begging him to. Records get passed. Nights don't.
Every night, Kobe is back in and not a moment too soon, and he immediately hits a 3.
Number 6, Dallas Mavericks, December 20th, 2005.
Points and 14 rebounds. Michael Finley's got a game-high 31 for the Dallas Mavericks.
He outscored an entire 60-win team by himself. Then he took the fourth quarter off. December 20th, Staples Center. Dallas comes in with one of the best records in basketball. They'd finish 60-22 and go all the way to the finals that June. Dirk Nowitzki, Josh Howard, Devin Harris, Marquise Daniels, real defensive wings, plural, and a coaching staff that knew exactly what was coming.
With this territory.
They feel very confident. Let's see if they can get the defensive stops necessary.
Through 3 quarters, Kobe Bryant 62, Dallas Mavericks 61. Read that again. 1 man, 3 quarters, ahead of an entire NBA Finals team. 18 of 31 from the floor, 4 threes, 22 of 25 from the line, 8 rebounds, 33 minutes played, and then he sat, because the Lakers were up by more than 20, and it was over. Final score, 112-90.
In this quarter, 0 of 1. Daniel.
Here's what happened on that bench. Brian Shaw asked him if he wanted to go back out and get 70. Kobe said he'd do it when they really needed it. Jeannie Buss was in the building watching Elgin Baylor's franchise record of 71 sitting right there in reach, and she was genuinely upset with Phil for pulling him.
Nash Bryant feet into Stoudemire.
And here's the context that reframes the whole night. 2 days before, the Lakers had lost at home to Houston, 76-74. 74 points. Kobe had 24 in that game, and came out of it furious. He said afterward he wanted to send a message about what happens on their floor.
Has put in 9 points in 27 minutes. They're familiar.
That's what makes 2006 different from every other scoring season you can name. This wasn't a hot shooter riding variance. This was a decision, made in a locker room 2 days early, executed against a finals team, and then voluntarily switched off with a franchise record on the table.
Better defenders in the NBA.
Nowitzki with the spin of the foul on Shaw.
The scariest players in NBA history aren't the ones who catch fire, they're the ones who choose the temperature. He said he'd do it when they really needed it. 33 days later, down 18 points in the third quarter, they needed it.
This is going to have to keep scoring. This is not going to be a defensive struggle at the finish.
Number 5, Phoenix Suns, Game 6, May 4th, 2006.
To 1, and Steve Nash, who had been quiet, has scored the last.
He scored 50 points in a playoff game, at home, with the series in his hands. And he lost. Set the table. Phoenix won 54 games and took the 2 seed. Steve Nash was the reigning MVP and would win it again that spring. Mike D'Antoni had the 7 seconds or less offense, running at full speed. The Lakers were the 7th seed at 45-37, and nobody outside of Los Angeles gave them a chance.
It's a 4-point game.
Then Game 4 happened. April 30th. Staples Center, Lakers down 5 in the final seconds. Kobe gets a layup to force overtime, and then, at the buzzer, with 2 defenders on him and Raja Bell in his chest, he rises up at the top of the circle and buries it. 99-98. Lakers up 3-1. That building has never been louder.
For 3, yes! The lead is down.
Game 6 was the closeout, and he gave them everything he had. 50 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 threes, and 52 minutes on the floor. 52. Regulation plus overtime, and he never came off. Phoenix won it 126-118.
I thought he was going to pick up the foul. How did he make that shot?
116-1.
Then came Game 7, and this is the part that still divides basketball fans 20 years later. The Suns won 121-90. Kobe scored 24, 23 of them in the first half. In the second half, he took 3 shots, missed all 3.
Off glass, he had no angle.
He tried to jump back and get the
Phil Jackson said afterward he couldn't even remember him scoring. Charles Barkley went after him on television. Kobe's explanation, then and for years after, was that he was trying to get everybody else going, and nobody else made anything.
The Suns lead by 1. Dallas calls for time.
Phoenix became just the 8th team in NBA history to win a series after trailing 3-1. So the man who could not be guarded for 82 games watched his season end by 31 points. Unguardable is a compliment. It has never once been a strategy. Which brings us to the 2 nights the rest of the league still can't explain. Number 2 happened in December, and the strangest part of it is that he stopped.
Harris.
And look who's guarding Steve Nash now. They put Marquise Daniels on him.
Number 4, San Antonio Spurs, March 6, 2006.
Minutes in this ball game. There were 7 players in double figures, and here's
Bruce Bowen. If you were watching basketball in 2006, that name meant something. All-defensive team year after year. The guy Popovich pointed at your best perimeter scorer and stopped thinking about it. Hands, hips, forearms, and a willingness to make every single possession miserable in ways the box score never recorded.
3. Your table is ready. The Spurs were leading.
March 6th, 2 nights after the Pistons game. The Spurs come in at 63-19, defending champions. Duncan in his prime, the most disciplined defensive system in basketball. Kobe scored 43. Lakers lost 103-96.
Desperate in this contest. Robert Horry, 3-ball corner pocket, opening up a second quarter.
And that right there is the cruelest thing about that season. Because here's what happened 4 nights later. The Lakers went into San Antonio and won 100-92, and Kobe scored 29. Less. He scored less, and they won. That's the 2006 paradox nobody wants to sit with.
In the first half, Kings up 5 at the break. Third quarter, the Spurs come out.
Every time he emptied the tank, it usually meant the rest of the roster had nothing. He averaged 27.2 field goal attempts a game that year, a career high by a wide margin. Not because he wanted the record, but because Phil Jackson looked at the personnel and made a calculation.
94-67. Fourth quarter, more San Antonio. It's Manu.
The offense wasn't a system with Kobe in it. Kobe was the system. So when people ask whether anyone could guard him, Bowen couldn't. Detroit's machine couldn't. What beat him was the 4 other jerseys next to his. You don't get to choose which version of yourself your roster needs.
Minutes in this ball game. There are 7 players in double figures, and here's
Now, everything you've just heard is regular season. And the regular season is where legends get built. June is where they get judged. In 2006, the judgment came early, and it came in 7 games that people are still arguing about right now.
Like Bibby. Parker had 16 points in the quarter, a game high 25 in the contest.
Number 3, Detroit Pistons, March 4th, 2006.
Against this team. To shoot the threes with his left hand now, because he is on.
40 points on the best team in the NBA in 36 minutes. March 4th. Detroit came into Los Angeles at the top of the entire league. They'd finished 64-18, the best record in franchise history. 2 straight trips to the finals behind them, and a championship ring from 2004.
So the Lakers, plenty of time on the shot clock. Run a half-court set. Kobe in.
Flip Saunders had them humming. Ben Wallace in the middle. Tayshaun Prince, arms like a pterodactyl, on the wing. Rip Hamilton running you into screens until your legs quit. That team's entire identity was that they didn't need to double you. 5 men, connected, no gaps. Kobe hung 40 on them and sat down before the game ended. 36 minutes. Lakers won by 11. And here's the reframe.
5 games, averaging 13 attempts. That would be important for him to be able to get there.
2 years earlier, that same Pistons defense had strangled a Lakers team with 4 Hall of Famers on it. Shaq, Kobe, Malone, Peyton, and won the title in 5 games. That series is the reason people spent a decade saying the 2004 Lakers were overrated. Detroit had proof that they could take LA's stars away.
The traffic hit by Rasheed Wallace. It would have counted on a long continuation. It didn't.
2 years later, half of that Lakers roster was gone. The supporting cast was Kwame Brown and Chris Meem, and one guy put 40 on them without needing a 4th quarter. Then think about where each team was going. Detroit was headed to a 5th straight conference finals. Kobe was fighting for the 7th seed, with a roster that would have been a lottery team without him.
The basketball, you try to funnel him certain directions, but he's just so good off.
The league doesn't grade on difficulty. It just counts wins. 48 hours later, the defending champions walked into that same building, and they brought the one man everybody in the NBA said could actually do it.
And he's got the ball to get the advantage, though. Hit. It'll go. They'll go to the line looking for the 3.
Number 2, Los Angeles Clippers, January 7th, 2006.
Well, you figured he'd make more than 1. 8 on the clock. Uh-oh.
This was a road game where he never left the building. Same floor, same rims, different banners hanging from the ceiling. Staples Center, January 7th. And the Clippers were not a joke that year. They won 47 games.
Well, you wonder why some big guys haven't just begged him.
Elton Brand was having the season of his career, and they'd finish ahead of the Lakers in the standings. Kobe scored 50. 7 3-pointers, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 45 minutes on the floor. Lakers won it 112-109.
155, Clippers on top. Brown just has those small and bad hands.
Here's what nobody talks about. That 50 was the middle of something. Go look at the 4 games he played around it. 45, then 48, then 50, then 45. 4 straight games with at least 45 points. The first player to do that since 1964. Not Jordan, not Iverson, not Gervin. You have to go back to the Chamberlain era to find it.
Get ready, he'll be dialing up.
And now the part that makes it strange. That streak has a 2-game hole punched in the middle of it, because he was suspended. December 28th against Memphis, Mike Miller caught him with an elbow driving to the rim and opened a cut over his left eye.
Almost got a third foul on the caveman, but George will get the bucket.
3 stitches. Kobe already had 45 points in that game. He came back out and threw an elbow of his own, caught Miller in the throat, got upgraded to a flagrant 2, and the league sat him for 2 games. So the run reads, 45 points, 3 stitches, ejected from the narrative for a week, and then 48 and 50 and 45 like nothing happened.
Well, you figured he'd make more than one.
8 on the clock. Uh-oh.
You want to talk about the shot volume? He took 41 shots that night against the Clippers. People called it selfish then, and some still do. Here's the honest version. The alternative was asking Smush Parker to create offense against a playoff defense in a 1-possession game. Phil Jackson ran the triangle. The triangle kept feeding him because the read kept saying him.
Contact with the ball being loose.
George to the basket.
Volume only becomes a crime in this league when you lose. The pushback on all of this was always the same. Look who he's doing it against. Fine, let's go to the best team in basketball.
These 2 teams for one of those spots in the playoffs.
Brown makes a face-up jumper.
Number 1, Sacramento Kings, January 19th, 2006.
So easy. That's the thing I was really impressed with Kobe the other night against Miami. Did not force anything.
He went 13 for 13 from the free throw line, scored 51 points, and got on the plane a loser. January 19th, Arco Arena, one of the loudest buildings in the league, back when Sacramento still had teeth.
Go to Kobe Bryant, who is doubled by Thomas and Martin.
A playoff team fighting for the last spot in the West, cowbells going the whole night. The Lakers were 20-19 and clawing for position in a conference where 45 wins might not get you in. Kobe went for 51, 17 of 35 from the floor, 9 rebounds, 44 minutes, perfect from the line, 13 attempts, 13 makes, in a road building with the crowd on him every trip. Lakers lost by 9 in overtime.
It's going to be a long night. Try to discourage him early. Kevin Martin is going to have to play through this on.
But here's the part that doesn't make the highlight reel. This is the 3rd best scoring game of his entire season. 51 points, on the road, against a playoff team, and almost nobody talks about it. Not because it wasn't special, because of what he did 72 hours later. That's how absurd January 2006 got. A 51-point night became a footnote inside the same calendar week.
He used to play against a young player for the first time. He tried to send a message quickly.
And if you were watching that season closely, you noticed something else. Sacramento didn't have an answer. They just had bodies. Switch, trap, ice the side pick and roll, send a second man at the elbow, every coverage in the book, and he shot 13 free throws and never missed one. When a defense can't stop you, it fouls you. When it can't foul you either, it just watches. 51 points, a loss. That's the whole season in one box score.
So easy. That's the thing I was really impressed with Kobe the other night against Miami. Did not force anything.
In this league, being the best player on the floor by a mile guarantees you exactly nothing. Now, if you want to understand how routine this had become, you have to go back 12 days. Because what he was doing in early January hadn't been done by anyone in over 40 years.
Go to Kobe Bryant, who is doubled by Thomas and Martin.